All right, let's dive right into this fascinating explainer. Today, we're going to trace an incredibly cinematic zoom-in narrative straight out of the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata. We're going to start all the way zoomed out, looking at a macro-level, perfectly utopian kingdom. Then we'll push the camera in, past the city walls, down to a lavish summer party, and finally end on a mysterious, intimate, and frankly bizarre cliffhanger. It's a total masterpiece of ancient storytelling, and as you'll see, it shows exactly how a period of ultimate peace can instantly set the stage for total disruption. To immediately set the stage for our story, we start with this irresistible proposition from the great warrior Arjuna to his friend Krishna. The summer days have set in. Let us go to the banks of the Yamuna. He's essentially kicking off what we today might call the ultimate ancient billionaire retreat. But to really grasp why they're taking this lavish vacation, we first have to understand the world they're leaving behind.
Part 1. A Perfect Kingdom. Let's look at Indraprastha.
So picture this harmonious dynamic. On one side, you have King Yudhishthira, the eldest of the Pandava brothers. The text tells us he's deeply devoted to the study of the Vedas, a performer of great sacrifices, and just a flawless protector of all good people. And on the flip side, you have his subjects. They're deeply contented, spiritually grounded, and devoted to the Supreme Spirit. In fact, the source notes that the subjects lived depending on their just king, like a soul living happily in a healthy body. It is literally the ultimate symbiotic relationship between a ruler and his people.
What's really fascinating here is how Yudhishthira approached the core pursuits of life. You know, in a lot of ancient texts, you see rulers leaning way too hard into profit or abandoning absolutely everything for virtue. But Yudhishthira? He treated these three distinct pursuits, virtue, pleasure, and profit, as equal friends, balancing them in perfect judicious proportion. It's kind of like the ultimate ancient work-life balance. The source material even says that it seemed as if virtue, pleasure, and profit became personified on earth, and the king shone right alongside them as a fourth entity.
And speaking of the number 4, Yudhishthira definitely didn't rule alone. Supported by his 4 brothers, the king was absolutely radiant. The text beautifully compares this to a great sacrifice, anchored perfectly by the 4 Vedas. Through their combined energy, they had brought all other kings under their sway. The fortune of the monarchs of the earth became stationary, and the brothers passed their days in complete happiness, without a single foe left to disturb their peace.
Which brings us to part 2, the summer retreat on the banks of the Yamuna.
Because they had achieved this unbelievable geopolitical peace, they actually had the luxury to take a break. I mean, you literally can't host a wild summer party if you're worried about an invading army, right? So Krishna, addressed here as Vasudeva, readily agrees to Arjuna's idea, cementing the transition from pious duties to the pursuit of unadulterated pleasure. They have Yudhishthira's blessing, and they are ready to let loose.
Leaving King Yudhishthira behind to hold the fort, Arjuna and Krishna head to a highly curated destination right on the banks of the Yamuna River. And let me tell you, this isn't just some basic campsite. The text describes it as a fine spot overgrown with tall trees and covered with several high mansions, making the entire place look like a literal celestial city.
Part 3. Prosperity Personified. A truly lavish celebration.
If the city of Indraprastha was a picture of pious restraint, the banks of the Yamuna are about to become a scene of complete, unabashed indulgence. We zoom in closer on the retreat itself, stepping into an opulent, almost chaotic sensory overload. The setting is absolutely lavish. Inside these inner apartments, they're surrounded by precious gems emitting pure rays of light. They've collected incredibly expensive, well-flavored viands, which is just a fancy ancient word for luxurious foods, along with floral wreaths and various exotic perfumes.
The gathering was just pure hedonistic joy. At the command of Krishna and Arjuna, the party kicks off. The women of the party, described with a gait unsteady with wine, are sporting in the woods, in the waters, and within the mansions. Guests are singing, laughing, jesting, drinking excellent wines, and even playfully obstructing and fighting with one another. It's a massive, joyous celebration of life and luxury.
And the opulence actually reaches a pretty hilarious peak with the royal women. Draupadi and Subhadra, exhilarated with wine, get so caught up in the generosity and the sheer fun of the moment that they casually start giving away their incredibly expensive clothes and jewels to the other sporting women. When you're handing out priceless gems just because you're having a great time, you know the party's an absolute success.
All of this is set to an amazing soundtrack, too. The source tells us that the charming music of flutes, guitars, and kettle drums filled the mansions and the woods.
The entire scene, with the dancing, the wine, the music, and the beautiful surroundings, truly became what the text calls prosperity personified.
And that leads us to our final act, Part 4, The Mysterious Stranger, An Unexpected Arrival. Arjuna and Krishna leave the noise of the main party and go to a charming, quiet spot in the woods nearby. They sit down on 2 very costly seats, happily discoursing upon their past achievements of prowess. But their tranquil privacy is suddenly shattered. A certain Brahmana, a holy man or ascetic, unexpectedly walks into this exclusive retreat. Imagine you're in the most exclusive VIP room imaginable, and a stranger just walks right past security. His arrival is so jarring that our 2 great heroes immediately leap to their feet to wait for his commands.
Now, the physical description of this man is unbelievably contradictory. Actually, scratch that, it's completely wild. The text says he's as tall as a salad tree, just a massive towering figure. His complexion looks like molten gold. He has a bright yellow beard that is bizarrely tinged with green. And here's the craziest contrast. Despite glowing like the morning sun in sheer splendor, with perfectly proportioned thickness of body and matted locks, he is dressed entirely in rags.
And then there are his eyes. He is staring at them with tawny eyes shaped like lotus petals, completely blazing with effulgence, a radiant, almost overwhelming light. His sheer physical presence is so intensely powerful that Arjuna and Krishna, literally 2 of the most powerful beings in this universe, instantly drop their leisurely conversation and stand at attention just from him approaching.
So we have zoomed all the way in from a perfect utopian kingdom without a single foe, down to a secluded VIP lounge at the ultimate summer party, only to have the peace completely shattered by this glowing ascetic. Who on earth is this towering man in rags? Why does his beard shine with green and yellow light? And what commands is he about to give that will inevitably disrupt their perfect summer retreat? It leaves us with a truly provocative question. No matter how successful you are or how perfectly you've built your peaceful kingdom, how quickly can it all be shattered when the unexpected walks right through your front door?